What if hip-hop's first billionaire has a 30-year-old son, and every courtroom he enters edges him closer to a simple cheek swab that could rewrite the Carter bloodline? In May, Rymir Satterthwaite filed a federal suit claiming Jay-Z fathered him with a 16-year-old girl back in the mid-90s, demanding emotional distress damages rather than back child support. 2 weeks later, Jay-Z struck back, calling the allegation decades-long harassment, and asking a judge for more time to expose fabricated claims. Yet after 12 years of legal dead ends, a judge has finally let the case move forward, setting the stage for a discovery battle that could end with one $99 DNA kit. Is this the moment the truth eclipses the legend, or will power, money, and delay tactics keep the swab sealed? Stick around, because the next twist may drop before this video ends. Our story rewinds to summer 1995, when 22-year-old Sean Jay-Z Carter was hustling mixtapes around Brooklyn's Marcy projects. According to a sworn 2015 affidavit from Wanda Satterthwaite, then a shy 15 going on 16 high schooler, the two shared a single night at his aunt's apartment after he introduced himself as Rock and flirted over a cassette deck. Wanda says protection failed, contact vanished, and 9 months later she delivered a son, Rymir, whose birth certificate listed no father. For the next 20 years, Wanda chased recognition through family court petitions, only to run out of money, patience, and ultimately life. She recorded a final video from a hospital bed in 2016, begging Jay-Z to stand by my allegations before she died of lupus complications. With her gone, Rymir inherited the mission, vowing to finish what my mother started, even if it takes my whole life. But teenage fling folklore rarely survives first contact with a judge, especially when the alleged father becomes hip-hop's first billionaire. Up next, the paperwork gauntlet that's chewed up 14 years, 3 courts, and countless motions, all without a single drop of DNA. Rymir's first stop was Pennsylvania Family Court in 2010, where his mother petitioned for a DNA test. Jay-Z's lawyer argued Rymir was already over 18, persuading the judge to toss the request on a technicality. Undeterred, Wanda moved the fight to New Jersey in 2011. That petition was vacated months later when the court ruled only the man listed on Rymir's birth certificate could be pursued. Never mind that no father was listed at all. By 2014, guardian Dr. Lily Coley filed a new paternity complaint in Philadelphia. Jay-Z's team, they allege, slipped fraudulent information into the record, and the case was summarily dismissed. Wanda went public, telling reporters she'd never withdraw her affidavit. Rymir kept climbing the ladder. Appeals, a 2022 bid to the New Jersey Supreme Court, even a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court, each swatted away on procedure, never on facts. Everything changed on May 6, 2025, when he filed a federal civil rights suit in California, accusing Jay-Z of weaponizing money to dodge testing and demanding damages for emotional distress rather than retroactive child support. 3 weeks later, Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett let the case proceed, scheduling discovery for August, Rymir's first real green light in 14 years. One motion survives where dozens died before. And with every filing fee paid from his own pocket, the aspiring rapper inches closer to the one thing no court has ever ordered: a swab of the billionaire's DNA. Jay-Z finally stepped into the ring on June 16th, filing a blistering response that brands Rymir's new suit nothing more than decades-long harassment. He asked the judge for 4 extra weeks, promising to unmask fabricated claims once and for all. A second volley landed on July 14th, when his lawyers moved to dismiss outright, telling Us Weekly that the rapper was tired of being stalked by lies dressed up as lawsuits. In the same motion, Team Carter insisted multiple courts had already tossed the paternity story and even hinted at a prior contempt order against Rymir, an assertion Dr. Lily Coley calls flat-out false. Jay-Z's filing also claims he owns no property in New Jersey, hoping to duck state jurisdiction. Rymir counters with tax records showing a Carter-linked condo in Alpine, accusing the mogul of perjury. And while the billionaire bankrolls motions, he still won't bankroll one cheap DNA kit, fueling suspicions that courtroom delays are his real defense strategy. The stage is set. Will a federal judge force discovery, or will legal footwork keep Jay's cheek swab off limits yet again? Rymir's newest lawsuit isn't a grab for backdated child support. Instead, he's seeking general and compensatory damages for emotional distress, reputational harm, and the legal costs of a 14-year pursuit that began when his mother was still alive. Central to the filing is Wanda's age. Just 15 when she swore a 22-year-old Sean Carter got her pregnant, an allegation that, if ever litigated, would cast a far darker cloud than an unpaid paternity order. To push the issue, Rymir cites New Jersey precedent that lets judges presume a man is the father when he refuses a court-ordered DNA test, a presumption courts routinely enforce with contempt threats. But the suit goes further, accusing 6 Garden State judges of conspiring with Jay-Z to keep the swab off the record by falsely claiming he owned no property, and therefore fell outside their jurisdiction, despite deed and tax papers listing a Carter-linked condo in Alpine. The complaint frames this not just as a family dispute, but as a civil rights fight against a legal system bent by wealth and celebrity. Meanwhile, Rymir mixes court dates with studio time, posting self-written tracks like Way She Move on Instagram in a bid to follow the career path of the man he believes is his father. If the case survives Jay-Z's motion to dismiss, discovery could force the mogul to choose between handing over a cheek swab or risking a presumption of paternity at trial, a dilemma that grows sharper now that another hip-hop titan has stepped onto the battlefield. When 50 Cent smells blood, he doesn't just troll, he litigates. After teasing on Instagram that Jay-Z and Rymir got the same nose, 50 privately offered the aspiring rapper access to his own lawyers, vowing to bankroll the fight. Within hours, gossip channels blasted headlines like, Beyonce snaps on 50 for funding the Secret Sun suit, and the hashtag DNAForHov rocketed past 1 million mentions. Yet scroll the front pages of TMZ or The Shade Room and you'll find crickets. Bloggers accuse Roc Nation of leaning on outlets to kill coverage, an accusation Dr. Lily Coley echoed in a July 17th statement, slamming a Us Weekly piece as selective PR. The silence only stokes conspiracy talk that powerful gatekeepers are shielding hip-hop's first billionaire from bad optics. Offline, things feel uglier. Rymir alleges his car was riddled with bullets last September, the only vehicle hit in a crowded lot, one of several intimidation incidents he links to the paternity crusade. Jay-Z's camp calls the story fabricated, but critics note he keeps spending 6-figure retainers while refusing a $99 cheek swab. So the battle lines are redrawn, a billionaire's PR wall versus a grassroots campaign powered by stans, gossip vloggers, and now 50 Cent's war chest. Up next, a court-ordered discovery looms, and with it the question Jay-Z has dodged for 30 years, swab or war? The clock on this saga is now loud enough to drown out even a Roc Nation press blast. A federal order already pushed Jay-Z's answer deadline to July 18th, and with that date now in the rearview mirror, Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett can either greenlight discovery or schedule a hearing that forces the mogul to choose: hand over a DNA sample or keep fighting a man who pays filing fees from a 9-to-5 paycheck. If the judge orders testing, New Jersey's version of the Uniform Parentage Act lets courts presume a man is the father when he refuses genetic testing, a legal lever Rymir's team is itching to pull. Civil rights attorneys say that single clause could flip a billion-dollar brand on its head because once paternity is presumed, the fight shifts from prove he is to prove he isn't. Yet social media smells something deeper. A freshly minted blind item claims a permanent A-list rapper fears a cheek swab could tie him to unsolved murders, an internet rumor with 0 courtroom weight, but one that's already racked up 500,000 TikTok stitches. Jay-Z's camp dismisses it all as tabloid fiction, but every delay feeds the conspiracy machine. And now 50 Cent's legal war chest gives that machine high-octane fuel. So the stage is set for August. Either a quiet stipulation that ends 3 decades of whispers, or the first courtroom in America bold enough to make hip-hop's first billionaire open wide and say, ah. Until that order drops, the question isn't who Rymir's father is, it's how long money can keep science from answering. 3 decades, 4 courts, and 1 missing cheek swab have kept a single question alive. Did hip-hop's first billionaire leave a son in the Brooklyn shadows? Rymir says yes, and he's pushed every motion, affidavit, and TikTok hashtag to make the world listen. Jay-Z says no, yet spends fortunes fighting what a $99 DNA kit could settle before lunch. Now discovery looms. 50 Cent is stirring the pot, and a federal judge may finally force science to speak louder than PR. When that cotton swab hits the lab, if it ever does, either a dynasty gains an heir or a determined underdog eats public crow. Until then, every delay, every rumor, every late-night filing only sharpens the question. In 2025, does truth still outrun power, or is justice just another track stuck in sample clearance hell? Hit subscribe. This saga's next verse could drop any minute.